That's some good coffee, bro. Hello everyone, it's your boy Corn and welcome back to another video on the channel, bro. And today we are here with a Coffee with Corn episode. I know it's been a very long time since we made one of these, man. And also for anyone that is new here, Coffee with Corn is a series on the channel where we talk about many different topics like life or video games, movies, shows, anything that's just interesting in general. We're just going to talk about it, and that's what this series is for. And as you can tell by the title, we are going to be reading today the Xehanort reports from Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. And I'm not gonna lie, this may be kind of a lengthy video because I really like the Coffee with Corn series to be more of like on the short side, but for this game is really important. Let me take a sip of my coffee because we really are about to get into it. And here's the splash! So on my channel, I have just completed one of the major games in the Kingdom Hearts series, Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. And this game is so incredibly important. It's like the start of literally everything. And it's not important because of its gameplay, which is actually not bad at all. In retrospect, it's actually really kind of fun, and I kind of like the grinding in it too, like with the kind of like the alchemy type thing where you're melding different moves, trying to figure out what fits for that character, how you're going to take out bosses and stuff like that. I actually really like that. But what is really important about this game is its story. I mean, all Kingdom Hearts games have really important story, but this one hits really different, and I'm gonna say why. The first thing I want to mention about this game is its name, right? Birth by Sleep. Now, when we were at the end of this game, where we saw Ansem the Wise in the realm of darkness, you know, met up with Aqua and everything like that, they was talking, he mentioned something that stood out to me.
Many hearts. He could open the right door and save all those people whose lives I managed to ruin.
Because
so
he was
many
talking
are
about
still
sleep.
waiting for their new beginning, their birth by sleep.
He said things about new beginnings, your birth by sleep, or something like that, right? And that had me thinking, this game is literally the start of a lot of things that happen in the series, all the way from Kingdom Hearts 1, Chain of Memories, 358 Days, Kingdom Hearts 2, a lot of these games, bruh, and it makes sense. So, and I may have this concept of the birth by sleep meaning kind of wrong, but just vibe with me for a second. Let me give you examples of what I'm talking about, what I think he's talking about, right? So let's start with Ventus, right? We know that Ventus and Sora is basically connected from the very beginning of the game. We know that Sora was the one talking to Ventus. He was able to help him, like, kind of like recover his heart, making it whole, you know, gave him his little dive to heart thing, you know, his little beautiful circular plate, you know what I'm saying? And also because of that connection is the reason why Sora looks like Ventus, right? And so that's part of Sora's beginning, is him being connected to Ventus and him also looking like Ventus. I know you vibing with me with that. Come on now. Oh, you not? Bet. Hold on. I got you with another one. Let's talk about something even more important than that. Let's talk about Xemnas and his birth by sleep, right? His new beginning or whatever, right? In this game, Xehanort, the old man took over Terra, right? And now he's like Terra Xehanort, and that is the same person we saw in Kingdom Hearts 2 in those cutscenes, bro. And that's the guy who also became Xemnas, who also became Ansem, the Seeker of Darkness. And also to put more flavor and salt on that boy, to put more sugar and cream, just like I put in my coffee, Aqua is the one that started most of the games. When Aqua and Terra Xehanort were fighting, right? Terra Xehanort was like, oh my god, get out of my heart, Terra, or something like that, right? Use the Keyblade, bam, unlock this heart, right? So they both fell into darkness, right? Because it like his stand or whatever, that little dark thing that's actually pretty cool, is basically a stand from JoJo. I don't know, created this portal or something into the realm of darkness, right? And Aqua had to go and get him because he was falling in. I guess because he passed out or something from doing
for getting bodied. To be honest.
And so because she saved him, he became evil and took over the worlds. Now granted though, I'm not saying it's her fault for the evil in those worlds, right? I'm not saying that. All I'm saying, it was basically the start of most of these games. Kingdom Hearts 1 because of Ansem, the Seeker of Darkness. Xemnas in Kingdom Hearts 2, starting the organization, 13 of them with his powers and stuff like that, right? That's his birth by sleep, bro. My point exactly. But yeah, I just wanted to quickly talk about that part. Quickly meaning probably like 5 minutes. So let's get on with the reading of the Xehanort reports. Let's go! Please accept my deepest gratitude for the invitation to witness your pupil's accession to the office of true Keyblade Master. It was a heavy mantle our master placed upon your shoulders, naming you successor, but you have nonetheless preserved and raised 2 masters yourself. I know it cannot be easy. Okay, raised 2 masters. Okay, they're talking about Aqua and Terra, and he must be talking about Ericus. Okay. I did you terrible harm in the past over a petty difference in opinion, and just a few years ago, selfishly thrust my own burdens upon you. I think of you like a younger brother, and yet, fool that I am, I have never availed myself of countless opportunities to apologize or thank you for opening your home to the boy. The boy meaning Ventus. Yet not once have you blamed me. On the contrary, here you are inviting me to such an important ceremony. I intend to be there to offer you all my blessings. I guess he's talking about the Keyblade Mastery event. I have taken to wandering the world and seen much darkness hiding in the light. Lately, I fear it has taken a turn for the worse. Perhaps Yin Sid has already told you about the unverse. These fledgling emotions derive from negativity, and I can now sense their presence in nearly every world. And on the topic of darkness, we must speak of another matter that concerns me, one related to the upcoming ceremony. When I visited several years ago, your pupil, Terra, drew my attention. His power is immense to be sure, but within his heart I could see darkness just waiting to be awakened. I know this is none of my business, but I have reservations about welcoming Terra as a true Keyblade Master without taking certain precautions. The traditional examination, perhaps to see if he has the mark of mastery. The choice is yours, and I will humbly respect your decision. Take care. I eagerly await our long overdue reunion. Okay. This is interesting. So he's talking to, I guess he's like traveling the world, and like, I guess the situation with Ventus has already happened in this case from what we're reading, and he's about to go to the Keyblade Mastery event. Okay, gotcha. Okay, this is interesting. All right. The other Xehanort report. I think this is second, but I don't know. It says like 1 here, so I'm not quite sure. There's 13, right? Much time has passed since I left home of my youth behind. In the myriad worlds I have visited, I have gained much knowledge. On these pages, I intend to record a portion of that knowledge and put the course of my life to paper. Upon reflection, my life underwent the most considerable sea change when I arrived at that place. Yes, it began when I found a master, and another I would later call my brother when I found a new home. Then there was a Keyblade. For what purpose was it begotten, and by whom? During my training as one of its wielders, the precepts offered a clear answer. The Keyblade existed so that we who watched over the light could protect the world from the shadows. But was that the true answer? Could there not be more to it than that? My heart sought knowledge, and so I sometimes visited other worlds, though such travel was forbidden unless duty required, and found what my heart sought. Take a sip of this coffee, bro. It's always the same thing from these reports as we read these. The pursuit of knowledge. We know knowledge is power, but this dude takes it on a whole nother level. So he was also training with the Keyblade. Is this before they met? Okay, so I guess he left the land of departure, like, I guess he was traveling while he was young or old, but he did say youth behind, so I'm not quite sure of like when this was, when he was like traveling different places. So this must have been before he met Ventus, probably. Yeah, this probably was before he met Ventus. This is definitely that, from what I'm reading. Our master instructed us to don armor while traveling between worlds, so that we might shield ourselves from the darkness. But there, in lanes between, I could feel the force of it, the power. And from then on, I forwent my armor's protection. I had been told the darkness would devour me, but what terrors could it possibly hold? So long as I found the strength to control it.
Oh, this is where it starts.
The world is vast, and the world within the greater world uncountable. Like little islands, they dot a great ocean between which keeps them ignorant of each other, uncorrupted. Each world had its own order. Unlike us, they could not know of the world in its entirety, and we were never to enlighten them. Right. Okay, so in this report, this is before, because he's talking about his master. He said our master, as in Ericus and Xehanort's master, right? And I guess this is way before when he got his armor too, because it seems like he doesn't have this armor. We have actually never seen Xehanort with this armor that they speak of, and they're probably speaking he's probably speaking of events before, definitely before Birth by Sleep, but like, you know, it's like leading up to it, because I guess there's rules of not traveling the world unless it's really needed, if they're in danger and you need this armor for protection. I think that isn't that the same thing with cloaks, so with the black cloaks, because you don't want to get consumed by the darkness and stuff like that. I think it's the same thing. In ancient times, no such buffers kept the larger world divided. There were no walls of light enclosing each smaller world the way they do today. Nothing prevented one from physically interfering with the next. At that time, the world was filled with light and a great many Keyblade wielders, but without buffers. The worlds began to squabble. Yo, I don't know why I'm laughing at that, because like hey, cause look, you know, when I was young and I'd be boxing and stuff like that, you know, hey, you trying to squabble? What's up? You trying to squabble? What's up? Worlds began to squabble over ownership of the light. You see, they learned of the Keyblade's true use. War broke out as each of the Keyblade wielders struggled to lay claim to an almighty entity known as Kingdom Hearts. Okay, we're getting into it. Kingdom Hearts could be described as an aggregate of hearts. Worlds too have hearts, just like people. Each world's heart is concealed from sight beyond a hidden door. By gathering all the hearts of all the worlds in a single place, one may complete Kingdom Hearts. Okay, how do I analyze? Okay, in this report, he's talking about buffers. It says, but without buffers, the worlds began to squabble over ownership of the light, right? So I'm thinking, like, what do you really mean by without buffer? Something to prevent, because when I think of buffer, I think, you know, of the definition of buffer, I'm thinking of something that restricts one from harm, something that restricts one from antagonistic behaviors, you know, just like in like chemistry and stuff like that, where you talk about buffers and things like of that nature. But what does he mean here? Buffers of the worlds that begin to, I guess he means something that could prevent this fight over the ownership of light, because I guess they're fighting over power. Like, no, I want this power, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. And when Kingdom Hearts is complete, it is said one who opens its door will bring out the creation of the next world. I knew it. I feel like he mentioned this before. Such a feat is above any human, or to put it a different way, whoever opens the door will be reborn as something far greater than human. Light and darkness are two sides of the same coin. Without darkness, there is no light. The Keyblade Wielders' great war over Kingdom Hearts was fought by defenders of the light, servants of darkness, those who sought to reconcile the two, and those motivated by nothing more than lust of power. Defenders of light. So they're saying like the defenders of light, they were trying to fight for Kingdom Hearts as well. Good and bad people at the same time. That's crazy. That's insane. I really am interested in like the story of this Keyblade War. I really want to see this. I really want to see. A whole spectrum of thought was swept into the conflict, and the worlds that did not go to war found the war brought to them. In the end, the whole world was cast into darkness. That was how the ancient Keyblade War drew to a close. To this day, no one has ever managed to open the door to Kingdom Hearts. Sometime later, the little light that remained in the hearts of the few brave rise to the world we know today. One made of many worlds behind just as many walls, so that the Keyblade Keyblade War would not be repeated. At present, the lanes and corridors that run between the worlds may only be traversed by us Keyblade Wielders and those who have given themselves over to darkness. Oh, I guess he's talking about the way that they travel to different worlds and stuff like that. Only Keyblade Wielders can do it, and also people who are succumbed by the darkness and stuff like that. Okay. As the former, our duty is to cross the chasms between the worlds and guard against the latter, whose darkness corrupts and contaminates, so that no world need never be lost again. Few Keyblade Wielders remain now. I have heard of but a handful of others outside my circle, but the world is vast and more of our kind may be out there. Now, in addition to the realm of light in which we reside, there is also a realm of darkness and the realm between, which connects the two. The realm of darkness is most forbidden. I am told none who set foot there have ever returned. I see. And from what we know of like traveling through the lanes between, going to the realm of darkness and back again, I know that Ansem the Wise can do that. Ansem the Wise had the ability to just come and go as he pleased, really. From what I understand from the reports, I may be wrong about that, but yeah, I think what's also interesting about this now is that there are also worlds that are completely gone. From what I'm reading, there are worlds that like have completely got affected by the war, and they have been completely destroyed. They have disappeared and no longer here. But there are also other Keyblade Wielders out there as well, just like them. I guess we don't know them yet, or something like that. This is interesting though. So just some worlds out there, they're just straight up dead. Okay. There are 3 families of Keyblades: the Keyblade of Light we wield, Keyblades of Darkness, and Keyblades of Heart. The first and second families differ only in origin. Keyblades of Darkness are found in the realm of darkness, and then are counterparts to the Keyblades we use in the realm of light. The third type of key, the Keyblade of Heart, came into existence when the world was reorganized after the Keyblade War. Without this key, Kingdom Hearts is forever beyond a person's reach. This could be the X-Blade, maybe. Won by gathering 7 hearts of pure light. Ooh, hold on. Only by gathering 7 hearts of pure light, hearts completely devoid of darkness, may one forge a Keyblade of Heart and open the door to Kingdom Hearts. Okay, that wasn't the X-Blade. That's what we see in Kingdom Hearts 1 when he gathered all of them and tried to open the door. Okay, so it's in the form of a Keyblade?
Oh my god, stop overthinking. You've seen it before in the first game.
And as stated before, opening this door arguably gives the person control of all worlds and all people. That is, that's crazy. That's crazy, bro. Hey, yo, this is wild, bro. Golly, yo, you are so evil. I have uncovered the Keyblade's ultimate mystery. You see, besides the 3 families of Keyblades, there is another Keyblade. While it may sound the same when spoken, it is no. What? Golly. No, I can't read today. It is notated uniquely X-Blade. Ooh, and make no mistake, while it resembles a normal Keyblade, it is something altogether different. Keyblades are said to be man-made counterparts to Kingdom Hearts. The X-Blade, however, coexists with Kingdom Hearts. It is only forged when 2 hearts of equal power intersect, 1 heart of pure darkness, 1 heart of pure light. At the time of its forging, Kingdom Hearts appears. It must be noted, though, that this Kingdom Hearts is special. Unlike the kingdoms brought about forcibly and artificially through the collection of hearts. Oh, artificially in the pure Kingdom Hearts. Okay, this Kingdom Hearts is a perfect and complete union of all the world's hearts. Surely it was over this that the ancient Keyblade War was fought. If so, the walls that divide the worlds today are of little consequence. With the X-Blade, all their hearts could be insanely reunited and the Keyblade War refought. Yo, this one's actually pretty important if I think about it. I think this report here gives light to the situation. Like, I think, like, I'm just thinking, when did he write this one? Because is this how did you find this out after the Ventus thing? No, it couldn't have been that. It couldn't have been that. You found this out before then? How are you finding out all of this information? Cause how did you know it was going to create this though? Like, how did you know? You just knowing stuff? I don't want to, like, because I know at the end of the day, this is a video game and stuff like that. But it's like, how did you know this information? And like, you weren't involved in this war, because I thought he was involved in the war. That's what I was assuming, but not really. He was never in the war, because I don't think he probably would survive or whatever. This just gives me more like interest to see what Union X has to offer, because I hear that is before Birth by Sleep. So I'm really interested to see what happens in Union X. So my brother pupil Ericus thinks only in absolutes. He has persuaded himself that light is the only way, but forgets that light cannot exist without shadow. I believe a balance of light and darkness is what sustains our world, but too much of the darkness has been stamped out, disrupting that balance. Someone must tear down this tyranny of light and recognize the world around the darkness, which then creeps back in. Ericus and I did not see eye to eye. I left and wandered the world. This was perhaps the first time I felt truly free since that day I departed my boyhood home. But free to do what? I had already shown the mark and become a Keyblade master. But having been passed over as a successor, all that remained to me was the road of teacher. Ordinarily, Keyblade masters take pupils under their wings, malleable minds in which to impress the precepts of the Keyblade wielder and keep our profession alive for generations to come. Was my time drawing to an end? Then, after all I had accomplished since casting away that place of my birth, surely waiting for a quiet death would not do. Not when there was still so much I needed to see for myself. Powers help me, I thought. My body is so old. Oh my god, bro. My body is so old. We Keyblade Masters have a special gift. We can extract a heart, be it our own or that of another. By continuing this cycle, it is possible to remain in the world of the living forever. As a boy, I dreamed of seeing the furthest reaches of the world. If only I went far enough. There had to be a world out there in which no one had ever before set foot, and now I know of such a world. If I become the first to open Kingdom Hearts' door, I can create the next world in which light and darkness exist in perfect equilibrium. As a boy, I dreamed of seeing the furthest reaches of the world. If I only went far enough, there had to be a world out there in which no one had ever before set foot, and now I know of such a world. If I become the first to open Kingdom Hearts' door, I can create the next world in which light and darkness exist in perfect equilibrium. So there I stood, with vast knowledge in one gnarled, dying hand and newfound purpose in the other. The next step was clear. I needed a new vessel. I need a new body. I gotta take some cheeks. And that was when I met Ventus and made him my pupil. We were destined to meet, and I could sense the potential within him, but the boy was too benign for his own good. I came to the conclusion that he was too frail to serve as a vessel, and decided to use him for a second purpose I had in mind. I would remove the darkness from his heart and split him in two. Then I would have my heart of pure light and my heart of pure darkness. Dog, this dude is freaking evil, bro. As was to be expected, Ventus lacked the constitution for such an ordeal. I was able to remove the darkness inside him and create Ventus, a heart of pure darkness, but Ventus drifted into the clutches of sleep. Ventus' heart of pure light and Ventus's heart of pure darkness. If both could be made strong enough to one day clash, I know the X-Blade will be forged. Okay, this makes a lot of sense because he said it has to be like in equilibrium, or they have to be, to make the X-Blade, it must be an equal amount of darkness and an equal amount of pure light and stuff like that. So that's why Ventus had to travel worlds, you know, get stronger, and that's why Ventus kept fighting him, because he wanted him to get stronger so he could beat him and so that they can clash. So it makes sense. But Ventus took too much of Ventus's heart, and from that fracture, I could see the last of Ventus's light was slipping away. The boy deserved a place to spend his final moments peacefully, and what should come to mind but my own boyhood home, the land of departure. Okay, gotcha. My legs took me there unbidden, and as I stood there on the same beach where I had made my choice so many years ago, I thought, not a single thing has changed. Here in this quiet world, time marches in place. Content that Ventus would find peace here. I started to walk away, but just then, the boy held up his Keyblade. The light within him had not died. And that's Sora helping out our boy Ventus. Okay. I love Kingdom Hearts. Ventus and Ventus were not matched in power. I could not train them, or Ventus's darkness would gnaw away what little Ventus had left. Of course, since I needed a place where the boy's light might flourish, the answer was obvious: Ericus and his absolutes. Considering how we had parted ways, I expected friction, but if anything, Ericus seemed delighted to see me again. He readily agreed to take care of Ventus. Now I need only wait for the boy's heart to get stronger. Within one of them, Terra, I sense something. The boy, though well-intentioned, seeks power single-mindedly, and that kind of hunger is a seedbed of darkness, and I have found my vessel. Like I said, guys, Palpatine and Anakin Skywalker. Fight me, you feel me? I mean, don't fight me. I'm like, y'all, I already know y'all agree with me. We on the same page. This is basically Anakin Skywalker and Palpatine, because Palpatine like, ooh, I love that darkness. The time has come. I have received word from Ericus that his pupils are to become true Keyblade masters, Terra and Aqua. They will be easy now to lure into the outside world, but Ventus, I will get nowhere without him. Ventus can feel some of what Ventus feels, and he says Terra is the key. Ventus has loved Terra like a real brother ever since he let him keep his old wooden Keyblade. It seems we have found a loose thread at which we can tug to unravel Ventus's heart. The first step is to get Terra alone. Then we need to plant the seed of doubt in Ventus. Let him carry his faint light as he chases his brother into darkness. Let the darkness make his light stronger. Then let the light deepen the darkness, and where the two finally meet is where the stuff of legends will become real. Wow, that was a good read. Honestly, but still, like, I think the secret and some reports were way more lit because, you know, Kingdom Hearts 2 is like way bigger in story. But this was great. This was great. So now, from what we learned in this video, or from just reading these reports, he was doing what he always done, trying to research his ambitions for just more knowledge grew, but as his ambitions for knowledge grew, it in turn made him go towards more of the darkness, right? And that's why he's just so evil. Like, that knowledge made him evil because he just wanted more. And since he was old, he's like, no, I need more from this world. Like, I yearn for more power. And yeah, and also we know that it's not just also more power. He doesn't want to die. He just doesn't want to die because he's old and all that. He just feels like he needs more. We learned a little bit about the Keyblade War, some other stuff about the Kingdom Hearts, stuff like that. I just need to know, what was he doing before Birth by Sleep? Like, more stuff of like what he was doing. I know he was doing more research, training to be a master, because we learned that in the reports as well. But like, how involved was he with the Keyblade world, and how did he get just this knowledge? Like, it's just crazy because Xehanort is like really smart from what I'm understanding. Like, he just knows stuff, bro. I don't know how, bro, but this dude is just freaking smart. And I want to see how Ericus and like Xehanort parted ways in Union X. Hopefully that reveal some stuff. I'm actually really excited for Union X. Union X looks like it's going to be very interesting because we get more like story between Ericus and like Xehanort, like what happened before the Keyblade War, because I don't think the Union X is the Keyblade War. I don't think that's what it is. It probably has something to do with it, because I don't know. I don't think it's all completely just the Keyblade War, because he's talking in a way like he wasn't even involved. He just knows about it. Probably because he was young. Then trying to be a master. That's probably why. He just knew about the war and stuff like that, and the world and stuff, because like he just knew it from a young age. Alright guys, that is all I have for you in this Coffee with Corn, man. This was a good read. I love like just going through and reading just some interesting story and things. If you guys got anything interesting that you like me to talk about, like, or getting into, or some funny videos to react for Coffee with Corn, I think that will be awesome. So give me some requests down below in the comments. Don't forget to like the video as well, you know, if you really like this and want some more. The next Coffee with Corn is gonna be something dear and special to my heart that I really want to talk about. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me in this episode, and remember, nobody can defeat you but yourself. See y'all later.
But I've learned that deep down there's a light that never goes out.
If you are feeling disheartened, that you are somehow not enough, set your heart ablaze.
Your story may not have such a happy beginning, but that doesn't make you who you are. It is the rest of your story, who you choose to be.